Yeah, I said this on the post-game radio stuff, man. Like, you show up flat and sloppy against a bad team, you lose. You show up flat and sloppy against a really good team, and they kick your tail, and that's what happened tonight. Just myriad of different things, and ultimately that's my job. My responsibility as a head coach is to make sure our team is hooked in and ready to play for 56 games in the regular season and beyond, and we clearly weren't tonight, so that falls on me. I know these kids will get ripped for it because that's what happens, but ultimately that's my job. So any of that needs to be directed at me because I didn't have them in a good spot to play today.
Coach, what do you see out of Luke Myers tonight in his second collegiate start?
He hadn't been on the mound consistently. I was excited to get him out there. I really felt good about it. And I thought, that leadoff popped-up bunt kind of might let him just settle into the game a little bit. And he clearly just wasn't able to settle in. And, you get, I guess, a walk, 2 hit by pitches in a row to kind of load the bases. And then, when I've said this before, this game's unforgiving. Like, he makes a pretty good pitch, the lefty who just dunks it into left field to get the first run on the board. Then that's where the defense really picked up from there and just got about as sloppy as it could be in an inning. So, obviously, Lukey, we're not thrilled with his outing. He's not thrilled with his outing. He's got to be significantly sharper, and he will be. But, man, we got to do some stuff behind him to help him out, too.
Coach, you're leading the SEC in errors, 19 over the last 8 games. What do you think?
Yeah, that's why you lose a lot of the last 8 games, right? Like when you're giving teams extra outs that are good, that's what happens, And for us, like that's what I told the guys out there. And I won't divulge everything I said out there, but big piece of that is we got to get below the errors. Like no kidding. Like there's errors made. Why? Like. Those are plays I've seen us make 1,000 times in practice. I've seen them make 1,000 times throughout the course of this season. Those were all routine, focus-oriented errors. And to me, it's just a way deeper thing. That stems from the fact that I didn't have them in a good headspace before this game started, because that's not a physical thing right there. That was a focus, being in the moment and expecting to make a play. Some of them were more lazy. Some of them were just mistakes, but I've seen them make it 1,000 times. But I think that's it. Like, I think you go back to it, and we can sit here and say, it's easy to say, like, hey, when you make that many errors, I didn't know it was that many. Lord have mercy, that's about as bad as it gets. But that's why you look at our last 6 games and 7 games, whatever it's been, and that's why it looks since Arkansas, right? And that's why it looks like it looks, And I think if you kind of rewind the clock and go back to that stretch where we were really playing high-level baseball, I think you guys know better than me, but I think that was a drastically lower number then, And I think when you give good teams extra outs, they punish you. We gave, I don't know how many outs we gave UAB tonight, significantly too many. But same thing happened at Texas for 1 game, and there on Saturday. Same thing happened really in all 3 games against Arkansas. Same thing happened early at UAB. Fortunately, we were able to stem the tide and swing our way back, and just wasn't it tonight.
Coach, what did you make of your team's disposition tonight after going down big early?
Yeah, I was disappointed, but they're my guys. They're my guys. Like, me and them had some conversations about that. I would like to see us, it's like I said, you go down 7 in the first. Like, part of me is like, man, if we're going to go down big, go down then. You got 9 innings to claw your way back into it. I didn't love our mentality after that. I really didn't, if I'm being honest with you. And I felt like it was, a little bit of I don't want to even call it apathetic. It wasn't a fight our way out of the hole situation. I can tell you that. I think it was a more frustrated. I don't think it was apathetic. I don't think it was we don't care, whatever, the game's over. I think we were so frustrated as a unit on how the top of the first went that we couldn't get out of our way for the other 9 innings of play. And what you would like to see there, because this is college baseball, right? Like, crazy stuff happens. People come down from 10 in the 9th. Like, that kind of stuff happens all the time. You would love to see, okay, that was embarrassing, that was awful, let's put that behind us, let's go string something together here. And then it becomes 7-2, then it becomes 7-4, then it becomes 7-6, and all of a sudden here we come, right? Like, that's what you would like to see. I don't think it was we don't care. I think it was more of we could not get past the frustration of the top of the first, and that stood in our way the rest of the way.
Coach, following up with that mentality, one of the things I've heard you say a bunch this year on the radio here, the idea of, we're just trying to hold on versus, being proactive.
Yeah.
What's it take to get that, proactive mentality back?
Yeah, man, that's a $1 million question, right? Like, I wish I could go buy that off Amazon tonight. I'd go right there and go get it. But I think that's the nature of this game. This game is hard, and this game is unforgiving, and this game is so mental in so many ways. That's why when things are going good, things just seem to bounce your way and go your way. And when things are going bad, it seems like everything kind of goes bad. And that's the nature of this game. That's where we got to be mentally strong enough to look at it. Like we talk about a neutral mindset. What that is going back to the facts and not being emotional, right? Like let's just go to the facts at the top of the first. Like we we put 3 guys on for free. We made 3 or 4 errors. Like 7 runs is what should have happened. So let's respond to that instead of being emotional and kind of pissy about it. How do we just take the next step forward? And I thought we spent too much time being frustrated on that and just couldn't kind of rally the troops there. And like I said, man, that is my job first and foremost, is to make sure that headspace is right to start, and when it's not, to get it fixed. And I wasn't able to do that tonight, so that's a failure on my part.
Where are we at with Sam? Is there a reason you haven't seen him, or medical red shirt or anything?
We're kind of playing it by ear, to be honest. If I'm being honest, like he tried like heck to get back, and it's still not there yet. Like I don't know if you guys have seen him be able to run yet. It's still not there, and we're trying to. I feel like I have a dueling responsibility to this team to put the best team in place and to win games, and I also have a responsibility to the young men to help them make smart decisions as well. So. Right now, he's hitting. He's doing some of that stuff. I think he was really excited to get back, and we've taken some steps backwards a little bit, I think, with how it feels. He's trying like heck, but it's, he was hurting pretty good this weekend. It's still not kind of back where he wants to be. So we're trying to be smart with him. I need Sammy back. I want Sammy back, but I'm also not going to do anything that jeopardizes him or his future. So trying to balance those 2 things is kind of not a fun thing to try to do sometimes, but we're just not quite where we need to be yet, and he knows that.
Coach, what stands out to you the most about Tennessee?
Man, I'll be honest, I don't know yet. I don't know yet. That'll be tomorrow. I mean, I know you guys probably think I'm full of it when I sit up here and say that, but literally every ounce of our intention since we left Austin has been on getting ready for this game here, because those guys are good. Like, now, what happened tonight in the manner in which it happened is inexcusable. Right, inexcusable, but that's a good team. Like they just went down and took 2 or 3 from South Florida. This is not me making an excuse for our players. This is more acknowledging why as a coaching staff we knew our focus had to be on this game, because we know what that team's capable of. And Casey's done an incredible job assembling that group, and they're tough. They play hard. They believe in what they're doing, and he's done a good job. So really, all of our stuff's been there. Now I know they've got 3 elite starting pitchers. I know that. I know Henry Ford's really good. I know they've got some offensive dudes in there that have had some ups and downs but are extremely talented. I know they've got a couple weapons on the back end that are good. I know they throw a ton of strikes. But the intricacies of them, I really don't know a whole lot yet. Like, in truth be told, like, we're going there to practice tomorrow. We'll get on the bus, leave in the morning, go practice. But man, like a lot of what we need to spend our energy and our focus on is us tomorrow at practice, right? Not them. And we'll have a game plan together ready, but we got some stuff we got to get better at when we get on the bus and head down there tomorrow.
Couple more. We know you take it one game at a time, but we go for the larger context. You're really close numbers-wise and analytics to where you were last year at this point in the season. And as you're trying to chase, every one to host a regional, like, what lessons are there for you and the veterans to kind of learn from last year to apply to this year?
Yeah, no, it's a great question. It's a really good question. That's what you're constantly as a coach trying to figure out, right? It's like, how do we play our best baseball at the right time? And, man, the best teams in the country take it wire to wire. UCLA, there's a reason they're the number 1 team in the country right now. They have played the most consistent baseball in all 3 phases of the game all the way through. We got a really good version of Texas this last weekend. They were firing on a lot of cylinders this last weekend, but even they've had a little hiccup, right? They lose 2 games A&M the week before. So it's hard to take it wire to wire. The best do it. We clearly haven't hit that spot yet. So for us, it's like, man, how can we take the lessons that we're learning, the good, the bad, all that in between, and parlay that into playing good baseball? You think back, right? We get swept at Kentucky. We go and lose in a similar game to tonight, right? Like the game against South Al felt very similar to tonight. It was just on the road, right? But similar, where it was like, golly, just bad baseball was played. And then it took one game and all of a sudden you look up and you're like, holy cow, that team's unbeatable. And then it takes one game and it's like, oh my gosh, they forgot how to play baseball again. Like, that is the nature of the mental part of this game. We did not get better at baseball between South Al and Florida. We didn't get any better. Well, our mindset was in a way better place. We started believing better. We didn't get worse at baseball after we got beat by Arkansas. I think our mindset got a little bit worse. I think we struggled a little bit to be as hooked in as we were and play the same brand of baseball. But I think that's it. Like, well, that's what we got to figure out, and that's our job as coaches. It's the reason we're here doing what we do. Is man, this is a problem-solving human situation as much as it's a skill set situation. And I think it's easy. Like, I'm going to go get my phone here in a minute, and I'm going to try to not look at Twitter because everybody's going to tell me that I'm the worst hitting coach in the country, and they're probably not wrong. As of today, bad. Did a terrible job. But, like, that don't matter. Like, how do we adjust? How do we move forward? That's our job, to move forward. And how do we take the lessons, and can we evaluate the things we're doing well, which, frankly, isn't a lot right now outside of our starting pitching. But how do we take the things that we're doing really well and continue moving those? And how do we take the things that we're scuffling and make an adjustment? Because we keep doing the same stuff, and, like, nothing's going to change. And us sitting here bashing my guys, and it did me no good out there to sit there and tell them they stink. Like, they know how bad we played tonight. It is about how do we take the next step forward. And we're going to walk out of here tonight, and believe me, this is not going to be a sweep it under the rug. We're going to go get them tomorrow. It's a new day. Like, it is. But we got to make some adjustments in the way we're doing some things, in the mentality in which we're doing them. That's the beauty of this thing is can we flip the script and get ourselves right and play our best baseball down the stretch. The best teams I've had have done that. Last year's team, frankly, we didn't do that great last year, right? Like, we had moments of really good and really steady, but we didn't play our best baseball at the end. That's what this group's got to do, man. You got to play the best baseball at the right time.
How set in stone are these bullpen roles, especially with the way that Ash has been thrown lately on Sundays?
Yeah, not frankly. Like, Ash has been elite, and I think there's a comfort in Miles Ashton, like in what that has given us on Sunday. But I think, I mean, as coaches, we're evaluating everything, right? We're evaluating how we can run our bullpen better, how we can bring guys off the bench better, how we can match guys up better, how we can set the lineups up in advantageous situations better. Those are all things that it's our job to do, that we have to evaluate. So I think we have weapons down there. I think, man, we don't have a guy running out throwing the ball 99 miles an hour down there. We don't. But we have a lot of guys that you put them in the right spot can be really good. And that's what we got to do. So for us, it's like, I know we got Tyler Fay going on Thursday night in Knoxville, and we'll kind of play the game on how it goes and have a good plan based on where we're at later on. But I think all that stuff is things that you're going to see a lot of guys kind of in roles there. It's just who fits where and what makes the most sense.